To my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, one of the common themes of all your remarks, as well-intentioned as they might be, had this ring of fear. And I say to you, that is not what this resolution is about. This is a resolution of hope and empowerment. We should never be afraid of giving voters another opportunity to voice their concerns. That's what this is. We're not redrawing anything today. We're not doing anything magical. We're saying to voters, if this goes through the process we have laid out, and we've explained that multiple times, should the constitutional amendment go before the voters, they will have the final say. We are in no way undermining the principles that all of us have stood for over time, all of us. I just think we need to point out that part of our democracy is actually holding lawmakers accountable. And part of our role is defending Virginians. And those are two really important jobs that we must embrace. We were given the constitutional authority to embrace, and we need to do that. And in terms of the accountability piece, I mean, we have a president who went out and actually said, people who disagree with me are my enemy. And why don't you Republican states go ahead and silence those voices? Silence the voices who disagree with my policies, even though those policies are harmful. They're harmful to millions of Americans, and they're harmful to Virginians. They're harmful. We have to remember, the federal government is a strong fiscal partner. It used to be a strong fiscal partner with Virginia and a number of states. Our Medicaid expansion dollars, we're getting 90% of the cost of that from the federal government. Nearly 700,000 working Americans have health insurance because the federal government was willing to incentivize states to participate. Those are Virginians who are benefiting from this. When we decided to participate in Medicaid expansion, it was 2016, I think, when we actually got everything implemented, we expected about $2 billion in economic activity to flow through the Commonwealth. That meant new jobs. That meant more access to health care, especially in our areas that are underserved. Many of you across the aisle are representing those areas that are underserved. We wanted to stand with you, and we did, and we led the way so Virginians could get health care. But again, the federal government was a strong fiscal partner. I do want to say SNAP. Okay, we know those benefits are paid for by the federal government. 800,000 Virginians receive SNAP benefits, and now they're all at risk, all of them. Our food banks are just overflowing with demand. How do you think people feel who need these programs to support their families, to gain financial security, to stand on their own, which is what we all want, right? Self-reliance. We've all had speeches on that. The programs that are being cut by President Trump and his Republican allies are undermining the financial security of hundreds of thousands of Virginians. How do you think they feel when the president goes out and says, people who disagree with me, I don't want to hear about it. People who disagree with me, I don't want to hear their voices. I want my policies, quote President Trump, I want them to continue. This is all about cutting the Social Security safety net, or the safety net. That's what this was about. They gave big tax cuts to the ultra-wealthy, but ordinary Virginians are struggling. Why would we not give Virginians the opportunity, after this very measured process goes through all the hoops that have been laid out in our Constitution and in our laws, why would we not give Virginians the opportunity to voice their concerns? There's no reason. Don't be afraid. There's no reason to not give individuals that opportunity. None at all. I'm not going to presuppose how they'll vote. I don't know what's going to happen in April. I never would have presumed we'd be in the situation we're in now, where the rule of law no longer seems to be the guiding principle, where our Constitution is not honored by federal lawmakers. I never would have guessed we would be in this situation. I have no idea where we'll be in April, but I can tell you this, the way things are moving now, it's important enough that Virginians be able to weigh in April. This is a very measured, a very measured policy that we would put before them. Very measured. And you know that. So let's not be fearful. Let's be hopeful. Let's embrace our responsibilities, both to ensure accountability and to fight for our working Virginians. Let's be proud. Madam President, I renew my motion that we support this House Joint Resolution.
Senator Sir.